I love to uplift people. So I want to start this with saying, I need you to know everyone has a purpose. You have a purpose. You may not know what it is yet, but life is mysterious in that way. And sometimes your purpose will sneak up on you and it'll be something that you never imagined for yourself. And that's what happened for me. I never imagined that I would be in the fitness industry. So I hope that one day your purpose and your passion align and you can go and live the life happy and healthy that you deserve. I'm going to share some of my story with you today, and I pray that that will give you hope for your current situations and let you know that that doesn't have to be your final destination. Where you are now doesn't define where you have to be in the future. You're in charge of your life, and you can change that anytime that you want. Your lifestyle and your choices are just that. They're yours, no one else's. And you can decide to follow the path or break the cycle and create your own path. And so here we go, a little bit about me. Growing up, I had no idea what my purpose was. I had it pretty rough. Statistically, I shouldn't be standing here in front of you guys. I should probably be in jail. My mom died when I was 5. My dad was in and out of prison and jail throughout my whole childhood. I lived between family members, back and forth, different grandparents, aunts. Never really had a home, never had anything stable. But despite all of that, something in my heart just craved love and affection. I wanted someone to be proud of me, so I tried my hardest. My whole life I was A honor roll, I did well in school, and I just really wanted someone to show up for me and be proud of me, right? Well, my senior year comes around, and I realized, man, I've been doing all these extracurriculars. I've been in band, debate, tennis, doing all this stuff. Like, my parents didn't show up, you know. My dad never came. No one was there for me. It really hurt me seeing what I call the lucky kids. Their parents are there in the stands. They have people cheering for them, smiling for them. Let's stand up. Sit down. Can we get off the phone, please? Yeah, you with your hand in your pocket. I'm looking at you. Sorry. Yeah, you. You. Yeah, you. Not you, in front of you. This girl right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a coach. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, whatever you're doing right here, I want the attention up here. So this is important for you guys. So throughout all of that, my senior year, I really fell off. I realized no one's showing up for me. Whatever, man. I'm just going to do whatever. Started hanging out with a bad crowd. Smoked some pot. Skipped some school. Fell out of my clubs that I was in. Really went off the deep end. My mental health was not in check. I struggled with obesity. I struggled with depression. I never had those parents that taught me to love myself and care for myself, and I ate extremely unhealthy foods. Looking back, I think that I was trying to fill a void with the food that I was eating. I had a lot of emotions that I wasn't processing, and I really didn't want to feel. So, you'll do things to distract yourself from feeling those emotions. And my thing was food at that time, and smoking pot, hanging out with the bad kids, and getting in trouble. That's what I did. When I made it to college, I didn't make it through my freshman year. I made it through the first semester. Kind of screwed that one up, but life is unpredictable. And like I say, you can do these things now, but that's not your final destination. You can always change it. And what changed it for me was fitness, right? So freshman year of college, I got pregnant with my oldest daughter. She's 9 now. And dropped out of school. I was living on my own, trying to make ends meet, working 3 jobs, really struggling, still not making the best choices. And during that time, I just very realized something has to change. Years go on, I have my other daughters, and I realize I'm so depressed. I'm finally just at this point where I can't live like this anymore, something has to change, and it has to change with me. So what am I going to do to get past this depression? Had to take a hard look in the mirror and realize that I really needed to make a change with myself. And that's where the fitness comes in. I Google, how do you get past depression on your own? I'd start doing some research. And everything that I read talked about working out, eating healthy, focusing on your mindset. And so that's what I did. I realized I had to change, and I'd never worked out. My diet was a disaster. It was mostly ramen, junk food, but I was determined to create a better life for me, and I knew that started with working on myself. I didn't go to the gym. I worked out at home because part of me was ashamed and embarrassed of who I was. And, it sucked a lot at first, but kept going. I was sore. I was out of breath. I really realized that I was completely out of shape. And I started to feel better and last longer in my workouts the more that I kept going with it, right? So my endurance was improving. I felt stronger. My mood was improving. Exercise itself helps increase endorphins in your brain that will improve your moods. Are any of you guys runners? Do you have any runners in the house? You back there? Okay. Have you ever heard of a runner's high? Anybody? No? A runner's high is basically a feeling of euphoria that you get after doing a really intense workout. So for me, there's nothing better than going to the gym whenever I'm stressed or angry or I'm feeling some kind of emotions that I need to work through and getting those feelings out, because I'm always going to leave feeling better than I did whenever I walked in. Exercise is a great outlet. So nutrition was the second part of fitness that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And that's an adjustment too, for me, in my past. Obviously, my parents never taught me how to cook, right? I was eating ramen, Hot Pockets. I was throwing stuff in the microwave, whatever I could just get quickly. So Google, again, was my friend. I found healthy recipes, ditched the junk. I started to notice that I felt more energetic, less sluggish, and that came with consistency throughout the diet change. So I felt a lot more clear mentally as well. And now that I've shared the little bit about nutrition, a little bit about the fitness for me, the big thing is mindset. That's like the most important piece of the fitness puzzle. Someone told me once, just start your day with something positive. Listen to a motivational video. Pull up YouTube, search motivational videos. It doesn't have to be long, little 5-minute clip, 3-minute clip, doesn't really matter. I thought it was dumb at first. I was like, what? Listen to a motivational video first thing in the morning every day? But I did it anyway. And over time, you start to realize that putting that into your brain first thing in the morning really is rewiring you from these negative thought patterns. Because the truth is, as humans, we're our own biggest critics. People have probably said some horrible things to you. I mean, people have said horrible things to me. But truthfully, there's nothing worse than the things that you tell yourself in your own head. No one can say anything worse to you than that. So mindset is a big deal. You have to get right in your own mind and learn how to be kind to yourself, put that positivity out there. If you can't do that, then you're not going to grow, Growth is a big part of life. So I realized watching those stupid videos, over time, my brain was rewiring itself and I was being a lot more kind to myself mentally. When my mindset started to shift, that's whenever my life really started to change. I learned how to appreciate my body for what it can do, instead of comparing myself to others or hating who I was. I lost 100 pounds within a year. That year, I also coached my daughter's t-ball team. Around the 40-pound mark, I had an opportunity. The coach had said, well, we don't have anyone to coach T-ball this year, so if we don't get a volunteer, we're just not going to have T-ball. And I'm like, oh man, I was doing all those motivational videos, and all of them were talking about getting uncomfortable, getting outside of your comfort zone, trying something new. And so I said, well, I guess I'll coach. I'll try it out. I've never coached before, but I feel like this is what I need to be doing right now. So during that time, I watched these kids that they were bad. They couldn't hit the ball off the tee. These are like 5-year-olds, you know, and I watched them go from these bad kids that couldn't swing a bat to coming second place for our season that year. And it was just awesome to witness the growth in them while I was also working on that growth in myself. And during that time, that's whenever God said to me, this is your purpose, girl. Coaching. This is what you need to do. So I've done it ever since. And this goes back to how I kind of opened this up for you guys. Everyone has a purpose. You don't know what it is today. You might not. But life is really unpredictable. And the way to get to that purpose is by working on yourself. That's what I've found. So the more that you work on your fitness, overall mindset, nutrition, physical workouts, taking care of your body, the closer you're going to come to figuring out who you are and what you're here for, what that purpose is for you. So in a million years, I would have never imagined me being a coach, but much less having my business doing so. I was this girl who had lived such an unhealthy, depressed, risky life, and here I am today. I never would have thought, but I've had the blessing being able to help hundreds of people throughout the years. I've coached T-ball, cheer, basketball, had fitness camps at elementary schools, and I got published so people could read my story and be inspired by it. I've spoken to groups like you guys about health and wellness, and at one point this just wasn't even a thought for me. I really didn't think I was going to go anywhere. So that's the power of those motivational videos and putting that work into your mindset, you know. You can go anywhere that you want in life as long as you put the work into it. And all of this happened because I invested that time into my fitness. And I tell you this because I want you to know that if you put the work into yourself and into your future, then you can go anywhere that you want. Your current situation is not your final destination, right? So I want you guys to just always try to strive to be a better person and grow as an individual, keep that growth mindset and really work on it. And, you know, I was talking a little with Carl before we got started here about the last year for me. If I'm being honest, this year has been really, really hard for me. We were in 2 serious car accidents, my daughters and I. I had one that had a surgery and one that was flown to Lubbock in the helicopter. And during this time, you know, all I wanted to do was go work out those frustrations. I had so much pain, so much worry, so many things going on, but I couldn't go to the gym because I was also injured. I had a knee injury, and so I couldn't go. I used to squat 400 pounds, and here I am. I can't squat that anymore. I have to squat 100 pounds now, you know? And so that was really tough for me, and I just want to reiterate that fitness in your mindset, because whenever things are going to happen in life, I mean, one day you can be perfectly ready to go to the gym and hit those workouts and work through those frustrations, and something can happen the next day. You can't do that anymore. You have to rely on your mental fitness for a little while until you can get back, or you have to find a way to modify those exercises or whatever you're doing to work through your frustrations. So the gym was always my place, you know, since I got into this, and I've been having to rely a lot more on the mental aspect of fitness this year. And so now I got released last week, I guess, to go back to my lifting, and I'm just getting back into it. You know, I don't tell you all of these things that I've done to to not tell you that I am still a work in progress myself. You know, we're always going to be works in progress. And whenever you work on yourself in this way, it's not just something you can do and be done with. This is a lifelong thing, taking care of your body and taking care of yourself. And you'll feel so much better and so much stronger for all of it. And so, regardless of how much I've struggled this year physically, this year does not define me. Just like your personal struggles, those don't define you, right? So if you're not taking care of your mindset, nutrition, and physical fitness, you're not living your best life and setting yourself up for the future you deserve. Plain and simple. I challenge you all to start doing something physical every day. You can go for a run, you can do some push-ups, squats. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can start small, work your way up. You don't have to go 0 to 100 real quick, but I do challenge you to start putting that physical work in. Put on a 3-minute YouTube video in the mornings. Work on your mindset a little bit, you know. Try to make healthier choices with what you're eating. I'm not saying just go full vegan and only eat vegetables and, you know, you don't have to change your life completely, but try to make healthier choices. Instead of 2 cookies, have 1 cookie. Or, you know, instead of having pasta, have a salad. It doesn't have to be crazy. Small changes over time lead to big changes for you. Let's see here. I lost my spot, guys. But whatever you want to do for your fitness, you'll get clarity and you'll feel better afterwards. Like I was saying earlier, you never feel worse when you leave the gym, right? You might feel horrible whenever you go in there. You're like feeling a lot of things, but whenever you get those workouts, you always leave feeling better than whenever you came. Portion control, when it comes to your nutrition, that is also a big deal. I did mention, you know, you might have some cookies. Don't eat 2, eat 1, control yourself. I feel like looking back on my childhood and where I was, I used that food as a crutch, you know, and I do think that food can be addictive. It's a way to kind of numb yourself from feeling what you have to feel. And so be careful of that. And then also make sure that you're not under eating. That's important. You have to find balance. And really, I think focusing on physical health does have a huge impact on your mental health and where you're going in life. So I hope that you guys take something from that and really work on it. But I prayed before I came up here to talk to you guys today, and I've kind of bounced around. I wrote all of this stuff down, and I'm just kind of going with the flow. But God put the word sacrifice on my heart before I came here. I know that sounds so silly, sacrifice, right? But there was this saying that I heard whenever I was first starting my own health journey, and it was, sacrifice the things you want now for the life you deserve later, right? That could mean walking away from friends that hold you back. Have you ever heard the sayings, you are who your friends are, or you lay with the dogs, you get the fleas? You know, that was one that my grandma used to say to me all the time. You lay with the dogs, you get the fleas, Jessica Nicole. And I did. And I'm here to tell you that's the truth. You are who your friends are. So surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with people you want to be like. That's something that someone else had told me before is, you know, what kind of person do you want to be? Look for that in your friends. You know, look for somebody that cares about people around them or exhibits some kind of character trait that you want to work on for yourself, because that person is going to help you. You are what your friends are. You're going to get pieces of them. So whoever you surround yourself with will rub off on you, and be careful with that. Sacrificing could also be sacrifice the processed and artificial junk food that handicaps your mental clarity. Sacrifice that junk and make the salad, you know, whatever it might be. It could mean sacrifice the video game time so you can go get your workout in that day. It's 8 o'clock at night and you hadn't worked out yet, but your friends are online and you want to play with your friends, and you might have to sacrifice that time for yourself, because learning to love yourself is learning to put yourself and your health first, right? And that sounds selfish, but it's really selfless, because if you're at your best version of yourself, you can help so many more people around you. And that's what life's about, right? We want to help people love the people around you. So ultimately, life is pretty uncontrollable, and we can really only control one thing. That's ourselves. So I challenge you, control the controllable. Hold yourself accountable to your own fitness, physical, mental, nutritional. And I thank you guys for letting me come here and talk to you today. Do y'all have any questions or anything? Don't be shy. I won't yell at you, I promise. I might yell, but.
Be the first one they ever asked.
Come on, guys, open up a little bit. Y'all told me some of y'all work out. What do you do for your workouts? You in the hoodie, you told me you work out. What do you do for your workouts? You run around? Running's good. Cardio's good. Does anybody lift? We have any weightlifters? A little bit. Anyone else? Him in the blue? Yeah? You're a weightlifter, dude? No? No? Come on, guys. This is about getting uncomfortable. This is growth right now. Open up a little bit. Hit me.
So, and not that I know a whole lot, like I always, could say like, I'm depressed or whatever, I'm bored or whatever. But like, what is like maybe like having some trauma, and like you said, like you started off, and that was kind of like the PG version of the story.
That was a PG version. I didn't know how far you wanted me to go with it. Yeah. I can tell them some more if you want. I just wasn't sure.
But I'm saying like, what is like the trauma of your childhood and like depression have to do with one another? And was that the fitness? Was that the one thing that like got you through? Like,
yeah, fitness is what got me through. No PG here. I was ready to die, you guys. I didn't see a life worth living for. I didn't. I was in such the deepest, darkest place that any person can go. I have some tears coming, because seriously, I was. And I just knew something has to change. I can't live like this anymore, man. And all of that was deeply related to the trauma that I went through as a child. And fitness is what got me through over time. That mindset work, that physical aspect of it, changing the food even, really gave me a lot of peace, a lot of clarity. It helped me work through some things that I'd never really processed before, because whenever you're working on that mental fitness and you have all these aspects together, I would go even as far to say there's 4 aspects. There's the spirituality aspect. And that might not be for everybody, but that's for me, because God was a big part of it. And realizing that you can't do everything alone, right? Sometimes God has to carry you through, but working on all of those things at once really brought me to my purpose, because a big part of that depression was, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what my purpose is here. And, God kind of showed me my purpose throughout my fitness journey, and that's given me a lot of meaning. So, yeah. What's up? What I mean, I shouldn't be here statistically? Yeah. I shouldn't. I should be in the jail. Statistically speaking, people who have parents that are passed away or in prison themselves, they usually follow the path of their parents. I mean, statistically speaking, I broke the cycle from where I came from. My mother passed away. I was 5 years old. It was very traumatic. thing whenever she passed away. After that, my dad went off of the rails, made a lot of bad decisions. He was an alcoholic, he was drinking and driving, he was an abusive man, and my dad was in and out of jail. He went to prison for a while whenever I was in junior high. And so coming from that background, it surprises a lot of people that I am who I am today. I can't tell you how many people tell me, I can't believe that that's your story. I would never assume that that's where you came from, because I know that I'm meant for more than that. I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to go to jail. I'm scared of jail. I don't want that. I got put in handcuffs one time when I was in college, and that was enough for me. No more. So statistically, yeah, I shouldn't be the person standing up here in front of you today. If I would have followed the path that was laid out for me, I wouldn't be here. But I chose to create my own path and go my own way. And yes, I did make some bad decisions, but like I told you guys, where you are today is not your final destination. All of your future is in your hands because of the decisions that you make today. So you can choose. You can choose what life you want to lead. And I think focusing on the physical, mental, nutritional, and even the spiritual aspects of your life will lead you where you need to be. Does anyone have any more questions?
All right, so the one thing about this is like it's health and wellness, and so
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. Is there anybody that's like, do you think these are yes or no questions, and I hope somebody answers. Do you guys think about like your personal fitness, because you're young, and a lot of us were young at one time, and it might not be an issue, but do you guys think about like being healthy and all that is a thing? Yeah. It's not. Okay, that's honest, because I know when I was a kid, you ate basically what you had to eat.
Yeah,
you know, and it might
same.
Not, if you didn't have a lot of money, it might not be the healthiest things. And I know right now as an adult, you you make life decisions, like going to the grocery store and be like, do I want to pay $8 for grapes?
Right, yeah.
Or do I want to get 5 pounds of Cheez-Its for the same price, you know what I mean? So, you got to start thinking about that. What do you guys do? There's a lot of younger kids, and I know you guys might be past that, but there's kids that they'll go home, play video games 4 or 5 hours, and that's what they do. Like when I was a kid, you always did something outside.
Play outside.
And
Don't come in till dinner.
I see some couple giggles here. Is there you guys got anybody spend more than an hour playing a video game today? How much time do you spend?
Well, not today, not today.
Well, how much time do you normally spend a day?
Like on average, probably like 2.5 hours.
A day?
Yeah.
And what about the weekend?
If I'm not doing nothing,
Yeah.
Probably just all day.
All day.
Oh, man. Do you stay hydrated at least? Yeah. Drink some water, man.
Man. And what kind of game do you play?
Undisputed. It's a boxing.
Yeah, never.
We have Madden at my house, too. It drives me crazy.
So, did you play that game like while you're like on a treadmill or doing something, or you pretty much just vegging?
No, I'll just sit on my chair, just chilling.
Yeah.
Virgin.
Well, it does catch up with you.
Okay, what if you challenged yourself for 30-minute run before you get on the game? Like, it's like a reward. Like, I'm not going to play my game today unless I go do my run. Could you challenge yourself to that?
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Why? You just don't like running?
It's not even that, like, if I want to work out, I will, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah? Okay.
So I'm going to.
It'll catch up, I promise you. Yeah.
Like being sedentary is like the new smoking.
Right? It will.
Just sitting there.
I'm telling you guys, I was sedentary. I'm not that much older than you guys. I'm only 28. I graduated 10 years ago. I'm not that old, but I was pretty sedentary in high school. And I'm telling you, the first time I worked out, I was huffing and puffing. It only took me 5 minutes. I really realized, like, this is not good. So even though you might not feel the need for it right now, it will catch up sooner or later. So please focus on that, because your heart health, that's important. Your cardio, getting that movement in, that's important for keeping a strong and healthy heart. And the way that our food is today, I mean, you're putting so many things in there that's gonna like clog your arteries and you know, it's just not good. So anything that you can do to try to keep yourself healthy and fit. And I want to bring up the grapes and the Cheez-Its. Is that what you said? Cheez-Its? Okay, so yeah, you might spend $8 on a bag of grapes and like $4 on this massive thing of Cheez-Its, right? But whenever you're eating a lot of junk, it's like empty calories, right? So like if I'm gonna go eat some junk, I'm gonna be hungry again in an hour. That didn't fulfill me. Like it might have fulfilled me for a minute, but it didn't really fulfill my nutritional needs. If I go and eat a meal with whole foods, I'm gonna be full for a lot longer than I am eating that junk, right? So it's like empty calories. And then you're eating more and more because it's made to be that way. So you spend more money in the long run on it. What's up? Tacos or spaghetti? No, tacos are all right. It depends how you prepare them. So like for me at my house, we don't do beef. We do turkey. So we'll like do ground turkey and we put that in our spaghetti. I mean, it doesn't taste that different from beef. If you've never had it, maybe one day you'll try it. But a turkey taco? Okay, I've never had a turkey taco. That's a little different for me, but.
Leftover Thanksgiving, you get creative?
Oh, no, not that kind of turkey. It's like ground turkey, like beef. Okay, yeah. Hey, gotta get creative, man.
Well, I guess a question I have maybe to the kids, is gym a thing now? Do they have gym? Do they?
At school.
Yeah, gym class. Like I remember having a gym class.
It's PE though, like, so like, you work out if you want to.
Like when you go to gym class, are you getting a sweat, moving around?
If you
Or,
want to, yeah. If not, you just there.
okay. So it's like, you know, are you moving around sweaty enough that you got to take a shower in gym?
Nah.
Not that.
Not that sweaty.
Unless your PE coach make you or something.
That was when I was a kid. It was like when you was sweating enough where you had to take a shower after. Gym.
Yeah.
They give you like 10 minutes to take a shower.
I think they stopped letting you take showers. Unless you play like sports or something.
Yeah.
I met this one girl whenever we first got here. What's your name? Diana? Diana. Okay, I can't say that. I'm so sorry. But I met her and she told me that she walked here today. So do any of you guys walk around like to get to your destinations, or do your parents just drive you sometimes? Well, first of all, be careful crossing streets because there are crazy drivers around here. But that's a good way to get your exercise in, is just even walking. So maybe if you want to hang out with your friend and they don't live too far away, you walk to their house instead of getting dropped off to get your heart rate up.
Take the trash out. Maybe skip a dumpster.
There you go.
Go to the next dumpster, but you'd be surprised how much your neighbors are pretty territorial about their dumpsters.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's my dumpster 'cause
Right.
I'm just walking a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
There was some good participation here, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys for letting me talk with you.